What's up, everyone? Today we have this Stihl Hedge trimmer, and I want to go over how you know your spark arrestor is almost plugged. So, spoiler alert, this one is. When I started it, as you saw, there was a lot of smoke. And, more importantly, it's not running correctly. So, what that tells me is that something is wrong. When you first start a machine, there should be smoke, don't get me wrong, especially with the 2-cycle. But it shouldn't be a consistent smoke. And when you give it throttle with the choke off, it shouldn't feel like there's always choke on. That's a problem. That usually means that the choke is on one side or the other. Either you're choking the exhaust or you're choking the intake. The normal way is choking the intake to get it started, freeing everything up, letting airflow, freely through it, and moving forward, doing whatever business you need to do. When you have this plugged spark arrestor, you're going to see two things primarily. Lack of performance, if it even starts. It might be very hard to start. In addition, that's like 1.5. And 2, you're going to see a lot of smoke. And it's not going to let up. It's just being consistently smoky. And let me explain why. These machines use a mixture of gasoline and oil. Gasoline is a carbon-based fuel, oil carbon-based as well. So when you are using both, one of them is going to be probably a little bit more troublesome than the other. Gasoline by itself is not going to cause that much of a carboning up issue. It can, don't get me wrong, but gasoline itself will burn a little easier. It's not going to be that much of a problem. Oil, however, do an experiment. In fact, let me think about this. So we're going to do a couple sketchy things right now. We are going to clean the table. That's not that sketchy. Well, potentially. The first one is we have good fuel with oil mix. And we're going to purposely ignite it. Now it's just going to be a drop, so prepare yourself. I'm going to put this away so I don't have a firebomb in my hands. Apparently I didn't put enough. That's what happens when you don't want to burn your garage down full of fluids that will love to do nothing more than burn. I think we're good there. I think it's burning out so fast I'm not putting enough on there. It's probably a good thing for experiment's sake. Not so good for camera's sake. Okay, there was at least a drop there. You see that? I don't know if you did, but quite literally, one drop burned almost instantaneously. That's just how gasoline works. It's a very volatile fuel. That's why gasoline engines are much lower compression in comparison to diesel. Temperature is a lot different than it would be for a diesel or anything else. Gasoline just burns very easily. I don't have any diesel with me, but if I were to do the exact same thing with diesel, it just wouldn't work. So, now, that is good mixed fuel, by the way. This is not so good mixed fuel. See how, while not as, it's still burned, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot left over. I don't know how well this translates in camera, but there's a lot more oil left over. So we have a combination of bad fuel with oil burning good, but not great. And then we have good fuel, good oil burning almost instantaneously, leaving very little oil left over. Now, here's the thing about this oil, or this next one. This is just straight oil. Two-cycle oil, too. There we go. Probably too much, but we'll get the gist of it. Now watch this. No flame. No flame at all. So, in your gasoline oil mix, your oil is going to be kind of like a tag along to it. It's meant to lubricate, and that's about it. It will burn. That torch is not a very good experiment. This whole thing is very rude and probably wrong at different levels. But my point is, gasoline burns easy. Older gasoline doesn't burn nearly as easy. If you want, my next one, I could show you what really old gas burns like. But oil by itself, unless you heat it up to a very high degree, will not burn thoroughly. So that's the main point of this whole thing. Now that we know what is happening inside of a combustion chamber, kind of, gasoline burns, the oil kind of gets burned with it under the right conditions, and yeah, it will burn no issue. The problem is not all the time is the right condition. When you're doing low revs, low engine speed, there's not a whole lot of heat being built up, and your oil is not going to be burning 100%, not thoroughly. That's why getting a good high quality oil is important, because it's not going to cause that big of a problem even if it's not completely burned. Cheaper oils will cause a lot of problems. They'll build up a lot more. It's just what happens. You know, you can look up the reason why all you want. That's, if I'm wrong, let me know. But just lower quality oils are just not as good for this reason, because they just build up and they cause carboning. Well, carboning up of a spark arrestor in this case. So now that we know what's going on, we have gasoline and oil being burned in the cylinder, gasoline, burnt remnants, exhaust going through the muffler. Unfortunately, part of that oil is also going to be there, and that oil is not going to be completely burned. It's going to start to stick to the muffler. It's going to start sticking to all the parts of the muffler, exhaust port, all of it. But more importantly, this is a spark arrestor. Not all of them are the same. This one is pretty easy to remove. Some of them are just a flat screen of this exact same material. That's it. So what that is just pretty much unburned oil and fuel. No matter what, when you burn fuel, you're going to get carbon. So it's not all of it's unburnt, but if you're having an excess amount of unburned fuel and oil, you're going to have a problem like this. Now, if you have a perfectly tuned machine, you could run this for 20 years and your spark arrestor eventually might get clogged. I'm not going to argue that. But what I'm saying is, this is not a 20-year-old machine. This, in all aspects, should be fine if you're putting good quality gasoline, good quality oil in it, and more importantly, running it correctly. When I was talking about a lower RPM not really building up enough heat to thoroughly burn it, these machines, you don't always, but you need to run it at full throttle once in a while for a period of time where it gets hot. I don't mean the engine, I mean the muffler. The muffler needs to get hot. It needs to burn that carbon off. It needs to burn the oil off. If you don't do that, you're going to have this problem. So this is a combination of just not running it at a higher RPM when you should. The oils that we use are designed to be burned and not to cause this problem. Assuming you get the higher quality ones, maybe the lower quality ones don't really care, I don't know. But a higher quality oil, you should be able to run through your machine for years and have no issue. Having said that, even a high quality oil, if you don't run it the way it's supposed to be, it's going to cause problems. You can't avoid physics or nature. Now the history lesson or the science experiments are done, let's go ahead and figure out what we need to do to get that cleaned up. To get it to be cleaned up, you can do a couple things. So you can get like an old toothbrush, And carb cleaner, that's a good alternative or a good way. Get a carb cleaner, get it nice and soaked in there. If your can is a high pressure, maybe you don't even have to have a toothbrush. You'll be using a lot of carb cleaner, but it's a way. Ultrasonic cleaner, potentially, if you have one. I don't really suggest that. Easiest way, in my opinion, I take gas. Propane will work. You can get like all these propane nozzles. In fact, this will do propane too, but you can get like the cheaper ones that only do propane, and like a, I don't know, $4, $5 container of propane, like the little 2-pound ones, and just attach it to this and just do this. Look at that. Now I can tell by the smell this is a pretty good oil. So the person that used this used the good oil. Next step is something I don't want to show because I don't want to potentially ruin my camera, but I'm going to use an air compressor and blow through there real quick. There we go. Look at that. It looks like the day was built. Clean, no damage done. Well, I guess if it's degraded, you could probably damage it with a red hot, but you need to get it red. You need to get it red hot. It needs to burn off that carbon. Remember how I told you certain temperatures are needed to really kind of burn thoroughly? Same thing. That's what we're doing essentially, is we're putting it to that temperature where it's able to burn thoroughly. So now that this is clean, you can reinstall it and your machine should be fine. If you are having these problems, bogging, difficulty starting, and you've already done fuel system service and spark plug and everything else, in addition to that, low performance, that's a pretty big one, excess smoke, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Those 4 main items are going to be the pretty much a dead tail or dead sign that you are having a spark arrestor plugging issue. Basically, it just runs like it's having a choke on. And it is. It's just from a different direction that you're not doing yourself. Inadvertently you are, but not like you're turning a choke on. It's just plugged. So if you're having problems and some of those issues and you've done everything, you can't think of what else it could be, check your spark arrestor. That is going to be a big thing. And let me tell you some of the machines that it's big on. And that's these hedge trimmers. Weed eaters are notorious for this, especially Stihls. I don't know why. Stihl just loves to have spark arrestor issues. I clean so many Stihl spark arrestors, and I can only count maybe 5% of the other brands have the same issue. Stihls love having these issues. So if you have a hedge trimmer or weed eater and you're not running at full RPM consistently, or at least for a long enough period of time to burn everything off, you're going to have to do this probably at least once a year to have good performance. You can go around it, but I'm telling you, just clean it. It's really easy. I understand you don't always need full power all the time. I know this. That's why I don't own Stihls, but go ahead, give it a cleaning. It's super easy. The whole thing takes maybe 2 minutes if you have everything prepared. Yours might be a little harder. Some of them have like these little doors you have to open and screws you undo and whatnot. So yeah, it could take a little bit longer. But having said that, this is what you have to look for. If you're having these issues, your spark arrestor is a pretty good alternative and probably is the reason for your problems. If you like what you see, keep watching, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101. If you like what you see, definitely put a thumbs up. And if it helped you out, put a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, definitely leave a comment. I do offer memberships, so if you want personalized help, that is one of the perks. So consider doing that if you do need that service. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.